Hello everybody, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today's video is a bit different because I'm going to be drawing some of my own OCs, and this is something I haven't done for a really long time. Well, I mean, I think I did draw Ember at Christmas, but these are different characters to what you're used to seeing. Due to the fact that they are the side characters of the story, and I do have some other side characters as well. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly introduce you to my side characters, and then I'll go through the main characters, all leading up until I do release the altered version of the comic, because it was set to release on January 1st. And then I realised that I'd made like a massive mistake in the first issue, so I had to completely alter it and change the design, and it was so much hassle. But anyway, so today I'm going to be drawing Gharoth and Lyla, and these are characters that I've never introduced to you guys before, so I'm super excited, and they are quite different to the characters I usually draw, especially Gharoth, because he's quite old. I don't tend to draw older people, and I also don't tend to avoid drawing guys, so it was so much fun drawing him. It was like, because I'm used to drawing a lot of the same thing, very similar characters, it was so nice to draw him. And he's always been a character that I've had, but I've been like too scared to draw him because I knew it would be a challenge and would be outside my comfort zone. So I'm super happy with how this drawing came out. So to give you a bit of context, I made this story when I was 12. I don't know if you guys have seen the video where I mentioned that I wanted to be an author. So originally everything was a story, and I therefore didn't really have a design for Gharoth. But then I decided to change it to make it more of a comic. So obviously I needed some kind of like visual reference to how he's going to look. And before I get into anything about the character, you may notice that I'm using a new technique in Krita. So just before I go into what that is, I do want to just make a little disclaimer. I'm saying Krita as in Krita. Loads of people seem to think I was saying Critter because of my accent, but it is, if you look up Krita with a C, you're not going to find the art program, but I'll put any kind of information in the description as to what I'm using, what tablet I'm using, etc., which is something I really should do more often, to be honest. But yeah, so in Krita today, I am not doing a grayscale painting like I've done the last few weeks. The only reason for that is because I began to notice, and I had a few people point this out as well, and I entirely agree, when I was doing the grayscale paintings and then painting over it in colour, it kind of still looked a bit grey. And doing a lot of research into this and watching tons of tutorials on how to change grayscale into colour, I realised that different colours have different values. So, for example, if you just drew like primary colours and then desaturated to grey, as greys they would be different shades of grey, if that makes sense. So it's very hard to get your head around value painting, and it was good for me to start off with value painting in Krita because I understood how the brushes worked, and it was a good introduction for me on how to blend things. But now that I understand how to do that, I thought it would be nice to challenge myself and use colours instead of grayscale for this one, and I feel like it turned out so much better. Honestly, it looks a lot better than what I did last week, I think. There are no like grey tones, everything seems to work a lot better, and as I was using just colours, I could think more about, am I using complementary colours and stuff like that while I was painting, so it was a lot better to do that. And also, something that's really helped me with my digital art is learning to oil paint, would you believe, traditionally, because I understand how paint works a lot better and mixing colours, so that is something I really recommend if you're struggling with digital art. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, like to then do a traditional drawing to help you learn digital art, but I found it helped, so it might help you as well. Also, what vids would you guys like to see soon? Because I really want to do an oil painting video and also a Krita tutorial, so let me know what you guys want to see. Anyway, I'm going to talk more about characters now. So Gharoth has always been a character of mine. Like I said, I was too scared to draw him. He used to be a sailor, but now he's old and he's not really a sailor anymore. He's a bit delusional and mad, but he's kind and generous to people, He is a little bit narcissistic, but you know, everyone has their flaws. I really like how the nose came out. I feel like he kind of looks like Sportacus. We were saying this in Zoe's stream yesterday. He does kind of look like an older version of Sportacus. I think it's the moustache. But anyway, he lives in the village of Rheinkim, and he's vital to the plot because he's wise despite appearing otherwise, and will help Ember and her companions a lot. Without even meaning to sometimes, because he'll just like blurt out important information without realising it was important and needed all along. And then everyone will just be like, Gharoth, you could have just told us that earlier, you know? But oh, and the beard was so hard to draw. I had so much of an issue with that beard, because like loads of the hairs I'd drawn like individually, so I know it's not perfect, but this is the first drawing that I've drawn in a while that I looked at and thought, I'm so happy with how this came out. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad that this video is a lot more positive, and so is yesterday's, because I don't like sitting here and being really negative and critical, because I don't know, it's nice to have a more positive outlook, and I think switching from grayscale to colour was the right thing to do. Anyway, I'm going to go into talking about Lyla now, because now I'm drawing Lyla. So, Lyla is another character, and she's a blacksmith, so that means she makes the weaponry for the main characters, so she is vital to the plot as well, because if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have such cool weapons, especially Akira and Seth, because her main purpose is to provide weaponry for the Fallen Guard Guild, which is the guild they fight for. So she's also Ember's childhood friend, so they've grown up to be best friends, and even though Ember is royalty, she would sneak into the town just to hang out with Lyla. Also, Lyla is short for Lylana, but everyone just calls her Lyla for short. You may notice that originally I used a bit of a purple skin tone to colour her skin, but over time I ended up shifting the hue so it would be a bit more brown, because even though I was going for the purpley look for like a stylistic kind of choice, I didn't really like how it was looking. So yeah, I'm a lot happier with it after I changed it. Also, I'm going to go really quickly into my colour process. What I will do is I will draw out the liner of a drawing and then turn the opacity down and set the layer to multiply, and then I will add the basic colours underneath that and then merge the two layers together. And once I've got all my lights and darks in place, that's when I blend everything together. But that is something I'll go more in depth into if I do end up doing a tutorial. It's a very, very hard thing to grasp though. I said that in yesterday's video. So it's going to be a bit hard to make a tutorial out of it, but I will find a way to do it, because I know how hard it is to try and learn how to do painterly drawings for the first time. I mean, I struggled a ton with it before, and I still have a lot to learn even now, so yeah. Oh, and I have an expressions vid. Why do I keep saying vid? I have an expressions video planned for next week, because people are always saying to me, Jenna, you need to draw more expressions, and I'm like, I know! So, next week I'm going to do a video where I'm going to practice drawing expressions, because I think it would be really important to just help me improve further. People are always asking me to do full body drawings, and I'd love to, but normally I don't have enough time to do that for a video. That's why these are only headshots, but I will be releasing the full body designs of these characters soon. So if you guys want to draw fan art of my characters, like, that would be super cool. Especially Garo, I'd love to see people's interpretations of him, because I always get fan art of Ember and Akira, but Garo's design is like completely different. So I know in the meantime I don't really have any full body designs for Gharoth and Lyla, but you can just make up the clothing yourself if you want, or anything like that. And bear in mind that they are set in like a medieval alternate universe where there's like magic and stuff, so they should pertain somewhat close to medieval clothing or inspired by medieval clothing, but you don't have to if you don't want to, if you do end up drawing them. Finally, I just wanted to say that I should have another Drawing Euro C's video coming out next week, but that will be on Drawing Amino, so just bear in mind that you'll have to enter via Drawing Amino if you want a chance to be in next week's Drawing Euro C's. Oh, ignore the can that just hit the wall then. And finally, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I had so much fun introducing my characters to you. And I will see you again next week. Bye, guys.